ಎಲ್ಲ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಗಳೋದಿ ದುರ್ಲಭ ಜ್ಞಾನವ ಕಲ್ಲಿಸಿಕೊಡುವ ಗುರುಗಳು ಬಲ್ಲಿದ ಧನಕ್ಕೆ ಮರುಳಾಗಿ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಸಲ್ಲದ ಪುರೋಹಿತಕ್ಕೊಳಗಾದರು. After revealing the flaws of a few devatas and rishis who had anger issues, in this Padya, Lakshmi Devi picks two gurus. It is clearly mentioned Ibbaru, where those two gurus are none other than Brihaspati Acharya and Shukracharya. Ella Shastragalodi. These two people have just accumulated so much knowledge by reading all Shastras. Durlabha Jnanava Kallisi Koduva Gurugalu. And they teach and spread that sacred knowledge that they have attained to the people. But the problem is that Ballida Dhanake Marulagi Ibbaru. They got addicted and jealous of the wealth of others that they Sallada Purohita Kolagadaru. They started to perform Paurohitya and deviated from the path of teaching and discoursing. Here, the problem is not doing Paurohitya. Sallada Purohita is the problem, which means the one who does Paurohitya should always have a good intention and should not have the intention of wealth or money behind it. They should learn the verses properly which they chant, and they should do it for the sake of God, for the sake of the goodness of the Yajamana who is performing the Yajna, Yaga or whatever the Kriya is. But not for the sake of money, having the intention of wealth. One should not perform the Paurohitya. Now here we are going to discuss about two gurus. They were actually born to spread knowledge. Once when the Supreme God Srimad Narayana was in Kshira Samudra, a group of rishis went there. They asked the Supreme God, who are those who are going to discourse the Pancharatra to the entire world? And the answer was that, do not worry, O rishis. There is going to be two people who are going to be born. They are none other than Shukracharya and Brihaspati Acharya. They are the one who is going to spread the knowledge, who are going to discourse on various Shastras, says Srimad Narayana. And after that, incarnation of Shukracharya and Brihaspati Acharya happened. They have just accumulated so much knowledge and they have been born to spread that knowledge. In Mahabharata, there is an instance where the one who was lying on the bed of arrows, Bhishma Pitamaha, says this to Yudhishthira. He says, do you know who is the greatest person who discourses at the highest level? It is none other than Brihaspati Acharya. These were the words of Bhishma Pitamaha. Such a great people were these two gurus. But the problem was that, number one, they had a competition among themselves that they want to establish supremacy between the two. Once Brihaspati Acharya sent his son to Shukracharya with an intention to snatch away the Mrita Sanjeevani Vidya, the secret of the Vidya that Shukracharya had. So they always had a competition among themselves to establish superiority among one another. And number two, these two gurus got addicted and jealous of the wealth of lot of others. Once there was a king called Marut. This king had humongous wealth, and Brihaspati Acharya had an eye on this Marut's wealth. Even Indra was jealous of Marut's wealth. So Indra had obtained a promise from Brihaspati Acharya that he should not perform the Paurohitya to this king Marut. But Brihaspati Acharya had an eye on Marut's wealth that he couldn't leave it. The opportunity of Paurohitya was actually given to Brihaspati Acharya's own brother, who was Samvarta Muni. But Brihaspati Acharya tried to snatch it from him. He even convinced Indra so that he could perform the Paurohitya and get the wealth of that king Marut. But at the whole, even when Indra agreed to it, the king Marut was very stubborn that Samvarta Muni, who was Brihaspati Acharya's own brother, should only perform the Paurohitya. That is when here Indra was brought into scene by Brihaspati Acharya. Indra tries to hit this king with his Vajrayudha, but this Samvarta Muni due to the power of his penance, stops there. And the chance goes away from Brihaspati Acharya, and the Samvarta Muni, he himself performs the Paurohitya. So these were some of the acts which were done by these gurus in order to obtain the wealth of those kings. And if you consider the case of Shukracharya, Shukracharya had magnanimous wealth. A part of the peak of Meru Parvat, the mountain Meru, along with some of the gem-studded Parvat, belongs to this Guru Shukracharya. He was so wealthy, and a quarter of his wealth is not even present with Kubera. But then he once tried to snatch the wealth of Kubera. That is when Kubera went and complained to Shiva, and Shiva just swallows this Shukracharya, and then again he was born. And these incidents is what Lakshmi Devi is quoting here, saying these people got jealous of others' wealth, they got drawn towards the wealth. She will only select the one who is the owner of every wealth in this universe. He is the one who owns everything in this universe, including every soul. And he is none other than the Supreme God Sri Hari. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.